You can't tell me now once I get my hair done.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel if you're new here. Today we're going to be doing a curling tutorial, just super basic, how I curl my Tatiana unit. So this unit is like a deep red color, more like a magenta. And it has just like a loose wave texture naturally. So as you can see, it's air dried now, so there's no product in it. And I've been messing with it, so it's a little bit frizzy. But this is how it looks air dried. But before shipping out, I do style all of my wigs, so we'll be doing that style. So these ones are going to be more of like a wavier curl, so we won't be doing any pinning or anything to keep the curl really tight. We want it to be kind of like a loose wave. I do it a little bit smaller than I do want it before I ship it out, just because by the time it gets to the client, you know, it's going to be a little bit looser. So I think I'm going to be using, I think it's a 1/2 inch curler, the Conair. So this is the one that I will be using. You can get this on my Amazon storefront. It's going to be linked below. So I'm going to be using this. The products we're going to be using today are the Main Magic 10-in-1 primer. This is from Sally Beauty. I really like this. It keeps the hair nice and moisturized without it looking oily. And it also protects the hair from heat. So this is a really good product. You can also put this on when it's wet, which I have with this one already, but I am going to reapply it as well when it's dry, just so I can get the most protection possible. And then to set everything, we're going to be using trusty Old Faithful Sebastian Shaper hairspray. And just to lay down the top, we're going to be using a wax stick. Mine is from Lavish Beauty, but you can really use any wax stick that you want to use. So yeah, let's hop into this. The first thing we're going to do is spray the heat protectant throughout. I like to focus a lot on the ends because of course they're the oldest part of the hair and you want it to look nice and protected, and usually the ends are a little bit drier. So I like to make sure I get those really good, and I am very generous with the amount that I spray because this is a lot of hair. It's pretty long. You want to make sure it coats the strands well. Sometimes if I do find that the hair is not coated enough, I will go through and spray in sections. But for this hair, I think we'll be good with just the one go around for the spray. This one does not have any layers in it. Usually when I do curls, I do layers because it does make them pop, but this specific unit does not have any layers in it. But yeah, so we're gonna get started. I have my heat tools warming up, so you want to make sure all your tools are warm and ready to go before you start, and then we can start sectioning off the hair and doing it in pieces. Let's go. So the first thing I like to do is determine where I'm going to want my part. I like to do this first just so I can solidify where the part's going to be, and so that when I get up there, I don't have to do this while all of my curls are ready, because then you may mess up the curls or have to comb them out by accident, and you don't really want to do that until the style is completely finished and set so that you have the best curls possible. So I'm going to go ahead and part it. This is a middle part wig, so I'm just going to part it directly straight in the middle and hot comb it out. Once the hair is like all parted out and everything, you can go ahead and start blow drying the hair. I like to just do like a once over. I understand the hair is already dry, yes I know, but I like to do a once over just to get any like tangles or anything that could be in the hair, and try to get out some of the texture that is in this hair, just so that there's not any humps and bumps when you're going to do your curls, because they're going to be a little bit more uniform than a natural loose wave. This hair is raw hair, so the wave is natural. It's not going to be uniform and whatever, so I like to get out a little bit of that and just have it look, you know, just like a blown out look. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm using my Revlon blow dryer, also linked in my Amazon store if you need a blow dryer. This is great for wigs, right? Don't use this on your natural hair unless you know what you're doing, because you can whip out your hair with these. But it's great for wigs and it's really fast to blow dry it, so let's go. Once your hair is blow dried and looks something like this, it doesn't have to be like completely bone straight, just enough that there's not too many curls in it still. You're gonna part out, say, like 2 to 3 can start your curls. The smaller you do them, the more like curly the hair is really gonna be because there's more curls around the head. And the bigger you do them, you know, less curls. In that way, less different curls because every curl is gonna be different. And also, if you do have like a smaller curling iron like this, if you do huge sections, this hair, especially with it being long, will not fit on the curling wand. So we're gonna start with a section about this big. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a little bit of it, like this much. This is what we're gonna curl. And then you're gonna take your hot tool, and you can open it up like this. You just press this button here, and you put it underneath, and then you curl that way and flip the hair that way. And you do it that way. And then you just twist this and flip the hair, and then open it a little bit so you can pull the hair through, twist the barrel, flip the hair over. And then you continue that all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see it better when I do the next curl. So you twist and flip. And don't open this all the way because the hair will slip out, but just enough so that the hair can kind of glide through. If you do have longer hair, you'll notice that it's a bit harder once you get to the end because there is so much hair inside the curling iron, but it should be fine. Just take your time and work through. And once you get to the end, just roll it back up to the top. Hold it there for a couple of seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, depending on how hot your thing is. You can tap on it to see like if it's hot to the touch outside, then it's probably good. And then tip it and open this to release the curl. The curl will be hot, so you can hold it for a second just so that it doesn't completely drop. Let it cool a bit. I like to kind of shake it like this so that it can get some air through it, and then you can just let it drop like that and then fix any pieces you want. So there's your first curl. It is very curly. I don't like to let it cool all the way. I don't like to let it cool all the way just because I want it to be more of a wave. Sometimes I'll even pull it like that just so that when I do comb it out, it's more of a wave than a curl, right? But that's good. But yeah, the curl will be very bouncy, as you can see. Isn't that great? Yeah, so let's move to the next one and we'll zoom in so we can get a better view. Okay, again, we're just gonna grab a hot tool, open it up like this, slide the hair in between this part and this part. So you're gonna slide it in between, close it, and then you're gonna drag it down a bit and flip the hair over, like that. And then pull, twirl up, flip the hair over, release a little bit, pull, twirl up, flip the hair, and then continue doing that until you get to the bottom of the hair. Then we're gonna hold for a couple seconds and we're gonna release it. And if you find that your hair is getting caught in the curling iron, just take it out, go slow. You can always do the curl over again, but you don't want it to get all tangled up in here. I found that when I first started curling with an actual curling iron, it was a little bit difficult to keep the hair out of that area, but just make sure that it's not getting into these little screws and stuff like that because it'll just rip the hair. Once you have it here, you can tilt it and open that area so that you can let go of the curl. Hold it for a second, bounce it around so you can get some air in it, and then let it go. And if you want a looser curl, you can pull on the bottom so that it can turn downwards. And there you go. Then you have 2 curls, just like that. That's how we do it. And then in the next row, we're gonna do it the other way so that you can have more voluminous curls because they're alternating directions and they'll just look nicer when it's framing your face if it's going away from your face versus going towards your face. Okay, to go the other way, instead of putting it underneath like this, you're gonna put the top part like this over top of the hair. And then it's gonna be curling the other way, but it's the same motion, just backwards. So you'll be doing the exact same thing, just the other way. And it's much easier if you're curling a wig to get a dome head like this one, just so that the hair is all like, the cap is stretched out to how it would be on somebody's head. I like to get the GEX ones because they're shaped like an actual person. You can find those on Amazon. Those are also linked in my Amazon storefront. All the things that I'm using basically here are going to be linked, except for like the products, because those are from Sally Beauty. But you can always pick up whatever you want in store, or if you're in the States, I believe you can get all of these things on Amazon. I happen to be in Canada, so we cannot. But yes. And then the curl will just be going the opposite direction. So you can see this one's going one way, and then this one is going another way. So that way, if you get to the front of your hair and you're looking at which way the curl is going, so this one is going away from this side of the hair. This one's going away from this side of the hair. So once you get to this side, you want to do more of these curls, and when you're on this side, you want to do more of these curls. Or you can just alternate them as well until you get to the top, because it's not as noticeable. But if you want them to all be flowing backwards, kind of like how you see blowouts being done, that's how you're going to want to curl it. But yeah, this is how it looks on the dome head. So it's easy for you to curl, and you're also able to pin it in so that it doesn't move when it's being curled. So that makes it a lot easier, especially for beginners. So let's do one more. And you can also do these curls by going over the other way and flipping the hair the other way. So still having it under, but flipping it over this way and curling upwards like that. This is more comfortable for me. I usually do it this way, but you can do it both. Whichever way is more comfortable for you, just do that one, because there's no exact science for this. Just hold it there for a little minute, let it go. I do recommend, like, if you're not good with heat on your hands, get a glove. I'm used to it, and honestly, I don't really feel it anymore. But if you're gonna be getting too hot, or you think it's gonna burn your hand, get a heat-resistant glove. You can get those on Amazon. I don't have one linked just because I don't use it, but they usually do come with some of your hot tools. So just see if it has one. If not, you can go and grab one on the side. But these are what the curls are looking like so far. And then we're gonna go through the rest of the head, and then I'll come back when we get to the top, because those ones are a little bit different. Now that we're at the front, we're gonna wanna make sure that all the curls, like at the front here, are going away from the face, so that when they fall, they will frame the face better. And it'll just be more aesthetically pleasing, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna split this section into two, and I'm still gonna be curling that way, away from where their face is. So I don't like to make my curls super high up when I do this style specifically, just because that's not what the style is. It's more flat at the top and then more just waves towards the bottom. But if you do want it to be more voluminous at the root, definitely start your curls a little bit closer to the root. You can even split the lace section up into two, so that you can do curls over here, and you can also do curls lower down, so that you have more volume up top here. But I don't need that, so I'm not going to be doing that today. And so this is my last curl. I'm just going to curl it away from the face, and then we're going to look into how you kind of finesse the curls and style them and get that aesthetic salon-like look. This is how it looks, just straight curled. I haven't done anything really to the lace area yet. This is what the curls look like before I've combed them out. So what we're gonna do now, the curls are all pretty cool already. So we're just gonna spray the entire hair with this Sebastian Shaper. And this will just hold the curls in place, but it's not very heavy, so it'll just have a light hold, so it's still bouncy and, you know, not weighed down and not crunchy. So now what we're gonna do is grab our hot comb again and grab our wax stick, and the spatula shaper will come back. So what we're gonna do is make sure we define the parts. So as you're styling, it does get undefined and kind of messy. So you're just gonna go back in and clean that up. So what I like to do is make sure that the front area here is kind of pushed back. This gives it like a frontal effect if you're using a closure, and if you are using a frontal, it just makes it easier to install, to be completely honest. And it looks nice. So I like to push back this area, and what I'll do is, let me zoom in so you guys can see. So what I do is I push back this area with the teeth of the comb, and then I turn the comb so the back of it's here, and I rest it there just to give it that little bump right there. So that's how we get that. So you turn it, and where you want the bump, you just turn it there and rest it, and then it'll have a little lift here. So you can see it better from the side, and then once you comb it out, it'll let the hair fall up and then over the face like that, and it looks really nice. So I'm just gonna do that on both sides and then move into the rest of the hair. So you just turn and hold it there, and it creates that little bump. There is a name for this, but I cannot remember it. And so once you have it like this, it's a little bit high. We want it to be flat. So we're just gonna go and flatten out the rest of the lace area. Make sure you get any flyaways down with that wax stick. And when you get to the front, you don't want to really flatten it out too much, but you kind of just want to flatten and go to the side here so that you have this little whoosh, right? Cool. Make sure you get everything nice and flat and looking seamless. And I like to hold flat iron there, or hot comb there, just for a little bit. It is hot, but just hold it there to get it as flat as possible. And if you do see like it's flattened it a little bit too much, you can always go back and recreate the little bump. And I drag it just there. That's now that it's the way that you want it, we're gonna go into the comb out. So for this part, you're just gonna get any wide tooth comb, just like this, and we'll show from the back, and you're just gonna comb out the curls really gently. And as you can see, it's starting to make that curly wave type of look, right? You can leave it uncombed out until you're ready to wear it. If you're going to be wearing it yourself, or if you're going to be shipping, you can do that as well. I just want the curls to fall a little bit, so I'm going to be combing it out. And then you can comb it out as much as you want. As you comb it out more, you're going to get more of a fallen curl, and it's going to be more of a wave than a curl, as you can see here, but that's what I want. So I'm doing that. Sometimes I will go back with this spray and just do like a once over, just so it can clump the curls better and it gives it a little bit of shine. And then this is how it looks when it's done. The curls are very bouncy, they move, they're not tangled. And from the front, you see there's a little bit of volume here. You can even go in and fix up what you've already done. Bump the sides a little bit more if you want to. And if you're a perfectionist like me, you'll definitely do this a bunch of different times before you finish. But it's not 100% necessary, but this is how you do get that little face framing moment. There you go. And that is it. So the curls, again, this is my Tatiana unit. It is a off red, off black type of color, and it is 24 inches loose wave. I showed you guys the wave at the beginning, but this is how it does come. So if you do have this wig for yourself, or you want to get this look, this is how you recreate it. There we go. So yeah, that is how I do these curls, waves, whatever you want to call them. Here they are in all their glory. Amazing. Now this wig is ready to go. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I do a lot of beauty videos, hair videos, of course, and I do teaching, a lot of marketing, stuff like that. So if you do have a business, make sure you do subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.